Jacob Green.
I would personally come up with a better chant to incite a riot.
Would you introduce yourself?
My name is Jacob Green. I am from Arcata, California. I am new to the city of Denver. Thank you for welcoming me. I have a couple of questions about the ordinance. Would I be considered a poo bomb? I am full of poo. I will probably be eating before the demonstration. I'm just wondering if I'll be considered a bomb if I try to throw myself into a crowd of police. Or not a crowd, excuse me, whatever you guys call yourselves, a flock. Also, I have another question. Would I be considered a urine squirt gun? I am also full of urine, and I'm just wondering if I would be banned from that. And also, I wanted to know if there would be public toilets available at this demonstration, because I would hate to infringe on this ordinance by urinating or pooping. That's basically it, and I just wanted to thank you for welcoming to Denver. But I feel like this ordinance in specific is ridiculous, and as Tom said, it demonizes protesters such as myself who are here to engage in nonviolent direct action against the two-party system, which I personally believe is just a spectacle. And that's just what I personally believe. That's not to try and that's what I have to say anyways. But I have that question. If anybody wants to answer that, I would appreciate it. Would you like to answer that? Am I a shit bomb? Sorry, I apologize.
The questions will come after the public.
Okay, thank you very much.
Testimony. And our last speaker is Brian Vicente. Say your name so we get it right.
Sure, Brian Vicente. I'm a Denver voter. I'm an attorney. I'm the executive director of the BNC People's Law Project, and that is a group of attorneys and legal workers that have come together to work on free speech issues around the DNC. And I'm here to testify against this bill, not because of the potential impacts on the First Amendment, which I think are considerable and should be thought through carefully by the council, but more because I think it's simply too broad in the way it's written. And what I mean by that is what this bill would do is effectively add a new law, which would be in the Denver City Code from here to eternity, which would effectively ban, and I refer the council to the last sentence of paragraph 1, where it talks about what would be banned if certain intent was found. Carabiners, chains, and specifically bicycle locks is sort of the issue that turned my head here. In a time when I think the city should be going to great lengths to encourage people to bicycle, not only because of global warming and because of traffic congestion and so forth, we would be adding a new permanent law which would effectively outlaw individuals from carrying bicycle locks in the city of Denver if the police thought that person intended to obstruct a sidewalk or a roadway. And I think what this comes down to is that it gives the police the power to stop anyone carrying a bicycle lock. And frankly, that makes me kind of uncomfortable as a bicyclist. I think that is perhaps giving the police a little too much discretion, given the the broad writing of this bill. I mean, if you imagine any scenario, the police could come up to an individual with a bicycle lock or a carabiner, ask them why they're carrying such a bicycle lock. If their explanation is not satisfactory, then they could be subjected to breaking a criminal law, right? To be taken to jail and to be branded a criminal for simply carrying a bicycle lock. The law itself establishes no criteria to guide the police how to judge an individual who's carrying a bike lock or a carabiner. It merely allows the police for unknown criteria to establish that they think that person could potentially lock themselves to something. So I would also add, I mean, I think banning carabiners is just going a bit too far. If you've spent a day at Metro State College, I imagine most of you had, I mean, every child, is that a carabiner on your water bottle right there? I mean, it really is, I think it just sort of goes too far. And now these individuals, literally, if approached by the police, they would have to explain why they have a carabiner on their water bottle, why they're carrying a bicycle lock. And they don't have to do that now. And I just think that's an uncomfortable position to put people who are acting responsibly and bicycling in our town or carrying a carabiner around. And certainly half the state is bicyclists and mountain climbers and so forth. So it seems like an odd thing for the city of Denver to pass this law effectively prohibiting these people from coming here unless they want to have a dialogue with the police about why they're carrying a lock. And this, I just think that, the way this is written and the way the tactic of this being pulled sort of at the last minute, it reminds me of the broader tactic used in a piece of legislation like the Patriot Act, in that we have this emergency time, we have exigent circumstances, and a government entity needs to act, right? You guys need to take some sort of action, and I feel like the Patriot Act, this is going to have broad effects that go beyond 3 weeks from now. And I just hope that the city will consider
Excuse me, your time
this.
is up.